I never thought I'd die on my own driveway. I never thought the last thing I'd hear would be the sound of my daughter screaming my name. But on a cold March evening in 2020, as the sirens wailed and the red and blue lights painted our house in chaos, I realized this might really be the end. The pain in my chest felt like someone had set fire to my lungs. The night air was sharp, heavy, almost sacred. I tried to speak, but my breath came in short, shallow gasps. My wife was holding my hand, whispering something I couldn't quite hear. Her tears fell on my face like rain. I looked at her one last time and thought, if there really is a God, let her be okay. And then everything stopped. No pain, no sound, no heartbeat, only silence. But death wasn't what I expected. It wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something so vast, so indescribable, that even now, 5 years later, I struggle to find words for it. Because when I crossed to the other side, the one who met me wasn't a distant light or a vague spirit. It was Jesus Christ himself. And everything I believed, every assumption I had about faith, eternity, and God, shattered in a single heartbeat. My name is Daniel Harper. I'm 57 years old, and I've lived my entire life in Springfield, Ohio, a quiet middle American town where everyone knows your name and where the grocery clerk still asks about your kids. I ran a small family hardware store, the kind my father started in the 70s. We fixed things, doors, fences, broken tools, everything except perhaps our own hearts. Faith wasn't a big part of our family. My father used to say, "You don't need religion to be a good man. Just work hard, pay your taxes, and treat people right." And for most of my life, I believed that. We went to church twice a year, on Christmas and Easter, because that's what decent people did. I never read the Bible, never prayed except in moments of desperation, and certainly never thought much about what came after death. My wife Linda was softer than me. She believed there was something up there, but she couldn't define it. Our kids, Emily and Josh, grew up in that same gentle indifference. We taught them values, honesty, kindness, compassion, but not faith. Life was steady, predictable, and comfortable. We had our share of troubles. Money was tight at times. The store struggled during the 2008 recession, but we always made it through. If you'd asked me back then what I thought about God, I would have shrugged and said, if he's real, he knows I'm doing my best. That was enough for me, or at least that's what I told myself. But as the years passed, something subtle started changing inside me. It was like a quiet ache that came late at night, when the house was still and the only sound was the hum of the refrigerator. I'd find myself staring at the ceiling thinking, is this all there is? You live, you work, you die? I'd brush it off, tell myself it was just age catching up to me. But deep down, I knew I was searching for something I couldn't name. The night of the incident. It was March 12th, 2020, the night before my 57th birthday. The weather forecast said rain, but the air outside felt strangely still. I closed up the shop late, around 9 p.m., after finishing inventory. As I walked to my truck, I noticed a young man standing near the side entrance, hood up, pacing nervously. He looked no older than 20. I remember thinking he might need help. "Hey, you okay there, son?" I asked. He turned, startled, and in that split second I saw the gun in his hand. His eyes were wild, desperate. "Wallet!" he shouted. "Now!" I froze. My heart started pounding so hard I could hear it echo inside my ears. I raised my hand slowly. "Take it! It's yours! No one needs to get hurt." But fear makes people reckless. His hand trembled. There was a flash, a deafening bang, and an explosion of pain ripped through my chest. I fell backward onto the concrete, the world spinning above me. Another shot rang out, then silence. The cold pavement pressed against my back. I tried to breathe but couldn't. Every inhale was fire. My blood pooled around me, warm and sticky. I looked up at the stars, faint through the city glow, and whispered, "God, please, just let them be safe." And then, everything went dark. The separation. When I opened my eyes, if you can call it that, I was no longer lying on the ground. I was floating a few feet above it. Below me, I could see my own body. Lifeless, pale, my shirt soaked in blood. Linda's car pulled up. She was screaming my name. Emily collapsed on the grass. I could see it all. The chaos, the flashing lights, the paramedics working desperately to bring me back. But I felt no pain, no panic. Only a calm awareness, like watching a movie I no longer belonged in. Then came the pull. It was gentle but irresistible, like the tide drawing back into the ocean. I tried to resist, to stay with them, but it was useless. The world of form knew the driveway, the lights, the people, faded into blackness. The darkness. It wasn't the darkness of night. It was deeper. Infinite. There was no sound, no up or down, just presence. I could think, I could feel, but I couldn't move. At first I thought maybe this was hell. Punishment for a lifetime of ignoring God. I tried to pray, but the words wouldn't come. God, if you're real, please. Nothing. Just the echo of my own thoughts in a void that seemed alive. Then far in the distance, I saw it. A faint light. Small, trembling like the first star on a moonless night. It grew slowly, pushing the darkness back. I felt something inside me awaken, drawn to it. The closer I got, the more the light pulsed. Warm, alive, pure. And then I felt it. Love. Not emotion, not affection, but a force. Absolute, overwhelming love that made every part of me tremble. The encounter. The light expanded until it surrounded me completely. It didn't hurt my eyes, it illuminated everything. Out of that brilliance, a figure emerged. Tall, radiant, yet familiar. His presence was both terrifying and tender. I knew instantly who he was, even though I'd never truly believed. It was Jesus Christ. His face shone like sunlight through water, and his eyes... Oh, those eyes. They held galaxies. There was no judgment in them, only truth and compassion, so deep I couldn't bear to meet his gaze for long. He spoke, but not with words. His voice filled the space and my soul simultaneously. Daniel, I have known you since before you were born. Tears, though I had no body, filled my being. I don't deserve to be here, I said. I never believed in you. He smiled. Not mockery, but understanding. And yet I believed in you. I was there all along. In every kindness you showed, every moment of love, every doubt that made you search. Scenes from my life began to unfold around us. My wedding day, the birth of my children, the quiet nights I sat alone feeling empty, the times I walked past a church but never went in. I saw how every moment of beauty, every glimpse of truth, every longing for something beyond this world was him calling me. Why me? I asked her. Why now? Because love never gives up, he said, even when you stop listening. Then he showed me the cross. Not an image, not a symbol, the real thing. I saw him nailed there, heard the labored breaths, saw the crown of thorns. I understood in an instant that this was not mythology. It was the price of love, the punishment that should have been mine, taken willingly by him. You did this for me? I whispered. I did this for all, he answered. But if you had been the only one, I would still have done it. And in that moment, everything I'd ever known, my skepticism, my pride, my certainty that being good was enough, collapsed. I realized heaven isn't earned. It's given. The choice. Then he said something that filled me with both fear and hope. You can stay, he said softly, or you can go back. Your family still needs you. Many have forgotten me. Others have never truly known me. Will you tell them what you've seen? The peace in that place was unlike anything I'd ever felt. Leaving it felt impossible. I want to stay, I said, weeping. He reached out his hand, not physical but radiant, and touched where my shoulder would be. You will come home one day, he said, but not yet. Go tell them I am real. Go and live the life I meant for you. Then he said the words that would follow me for the rest of my life. I am with you always, even to the end of the age. The light began to fade. I felt myself pulled backward, faster and faster, until a gasp, a burning in my chest. Air flooded my lungs like fire. He's back, someone shouted. We have a pulse. I was alive. The return. The doctor said I was clinically dead for nearly 9 minutes. They called it a miracle. But I knew it wasn't luck. It was mercy. Recovery took weeks. My family stayed by my side. But I wasn't the same. Every color looked brighter, every sound sharper, every moment sacred. I couldn't stop crying. Not from sadness, but gratitude. When I finally told Linda and the kids what had happened, the room went silent. Emily cried first. Josh shook his head in disbelief. But Linda... She stared at me with wide eyes. Danny, she whispered. That night when they said you were gone, I went to the hospital at chapel. I prayed for the first time in years. I asked God to show me he was real. She paused, trembling, and I felt warmth. I saw a light. I thought I imagined it. But maybe... We just sat there, crying together, holding hands. For the first time in decades, we prayed, not out of ritual, but out of love. A new life. Months passed. I started attending a small country church on the edge of town. The first Sunday I walked through those doors, I felt the same presence I'd felt in that light. Gentle, powerful, alive. During the hymn Amazing Grace, I broke down completely. For the first time, those words made sense. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Our family changed. Emily began singing in the choir. Josh, once skeptical, joined a Bible study for young men. Linda and I started a small dinner group for widows and veterans. Nothing grand, just soup, bread, prayer, and community. But every meal felt like holy ground. People began asking about my story. Some were curious, some skeptical. A few said, maybe it was just your brain. I smiled, then explained why I came back with peace instead of fear. 5 years later, I still tell it. Not because I need people to believe me, but because I need them to know him. If you're listening to this right now, especially if you're in your later years, I want you to hear this clearly. Death is not the end. It's a doorway. And who waits on the other side depends on who you walk with today. I used to think religion was for the weak. I used to think God was silent, distant, uninterested in ordinary people like me. I was wrong. The truth is, he was never far away. I just wasn't listening. You don't have to be perfect to meet him. You don't have to know every Bible verse or pray eloquent prayers. You just have to be willing. He meets us right where we are, in our mistakes, in our regrets, in our fear of dying, because his love doesn't wait for perfection. It creates it. Every day now, I wake up and look at my wife, my kids, even the morning sunlight, and I realize this life is a gift. We rush through it like it's permanent, but it's not. Every moment matters. Every act of kindness echoes in eternity. So if you've been drifting through life thinking faith is for someone else, let my story be a whisper in your ear. Don't wait. Don't wait for tragedy, for a diagnosis, for a final breath to start asking what's next. Seek him now, because he's already seeking you. I've seen what lies beyond that final heartbeat. It's not darkness, it's not nothingness, it's love. The kind of love that holds you even when your heart has stopped beating. And when my time finally comes again, when I take my last breath in this world, I won't be afraid, because I know who's waiting for me. I've seen his face, I've heard his voice, and I know now, without a shadow of a doubt, Jesus Christ is real. He is life itself, and he loves you, even now, even still.